guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well today. Tuesday evening, it's 7 p.m. in the UK, 8 o'clock here in Central Europe in Paris. And we're here to discuss the comments from Pep Guardiola during his press conference for the FA Cup 5th round game against Swansea down in South Wales. So I'm trying to think of any other bits and pieces of news today before we get into that. I don't think there's really been that much. There's still a bit of the after effects from Liverpool fans looking for something to blame, looking for anybody to blame for their defeat, whether it's their board, whether it's Jason Pickford or Everton, because obviously that's it was Jason Pickford who injured Van Dijk who'll be out for most of the season. Quite a few fans believe that's the only reason why they're not sat on top of the table. Talk about deluded. They're in that game when they got beat 7-2 by Aston Villa. I dare say, in the 6 games before the break last season, Van Dijk probably played in those games, which included 2 defeats to Atletico Madrid. I think it included a 3-0 defeat to Watford and a loss to West Ham. So I think they lost 4 out of 6 games. And I suspect Van Dijk was available for more. I've not checked, but for most of them or all of them. So you got this bizarre excuse list. It's a roll call of excuses from Liverpool fans. Very salty and bitter, and just accept that somebody else is better than you and that you've had a good couple of seasons. Because if you look at about, let's say, 8 seasons, 8 or 10, whatever, Liverpool have finished, going back to 7th, 8th, 2nd, when they come second to City, when Slippy G fell. Then they've had another 7th or 6th or 8th, 4th, 2nd, 1st. So a bit salty. So anyway, hi Chris, hi Prithvi, and hi Mr. Arik. So that's what it's been. Social media, I'll tell you about something else. An issue that's cropped up today whilst a few more people get in the house was some fans. Yeah, that's right, Prithvi. The poll run started before lockdown. 2-1 against relegation teams, lost against Watford 3-0. Well, that's it. So it's been coming. It's been coming, and Liverpool have no centre backs. That's a huge problem right now. They lost 3 centre backs, and it's, as I said before, it spoils their team to have Henderson and Fabinho at centre back. It spoils it, and they have to find another solution soon. So what was it? The issue today was racism. That cropped up again with the women's, the Lionesses, the women's team, England women's team squad announced today. 20-player squad. I think, was it 10 players were from City? I can't tell you them all, but that will include Ellie Roebuck. I think Esme Morgan was there. That included Lucy Bronze, Alex Greenwood, Chloe Kelly, Lauren Hemp, Ellen White, Georgia Stanway, Kira Walsh. That's 9. Missed somebody out, haven't I? Missed somebody out. I'm desperately trying to think who I missed out. Anyway, so I think 9 or 10 players was from City. And some people said, and the initial point was a fact, someone said there are no black players in that squad, which is true. Absolutely true. But unfortunately, some people in the comments said that's because the English management are racist. They said, where's Demi Stokes? Where's Nikita Paris? Where is, I'm trying to remember the third one that they mentioned, Lauren James. Those 3 should be in the squad. And someone mentioned, was it Danielle Carter and a 5th player? And it's like, guys, what are you on? Nikita Paris has not been released by Lyon because of the COVID situation, because she'd have to, they're worried about the situation in the UK. Fair enough. So they didn't release her. So it's not because she wasn't picked. Demi Stokes is injured. So why would she be picked? She's injured. Lauren James is injured. She's injured out for a couple of weeks. So how can they pick them in the squad for a game later on this month? Those three players. So sadly, the people who are doing all the shouting out are the people who don't watch, who have no knowledge about what's going on. And then the Danielle, forgot her name now. And I said, we've got 6, it's a squad of 20, 3 goalies, 6 defenders, 6 midfield, and 5 attackers. And if we're going to play with 1 striker and 2 wingers, for example, 5 attackers is enough. We've got Fran Kirby. We've got Lauren Hemp. We've got Chloe Kelly. And then you've got Ellen White and, was it Beth England, I think. And someone said, well, that was, I forgot, sorry, the player's name, the Liverpool forward. I'm not going to say it and get it wrong. But they said, why? They got, well, and it's hard to push one of them aside. Someone slated Jill Scott for being there and said we should have had one of the black players, the forwards, instead of Jill Scott. Well, if we're going to play with 3 or 4 midfielders, then Jill Scott's going to be there. So it's quite ridiculous. So I had a little bit of to-ing and fro-ing about that. It's quite disappointing. Anyway, let's go through your comments. And obviously, Mike Dean's had threats, and that's going to come up in the press conference. And the black players, I don't think the racist abuse that's been going out, I don't think that came up, but the Mike Dean one came up. Anyway, let's go through your comments. Can't take anybody for granted. Absolutely boo they. Look at Cheltenham. I hope United loses, Mr. Eric, as do we all. But how can a team be so dependent upon a single player? You need to have a backup plan. I agree, Prithvi. Hi, Angus. Hope you're well. Back to watch Man United take on West Ham. It's not on for a little while, is it? Last time I looked, United are playing at, isn't it about 8 o'clock? Surridge. Is it Surridge or Sturridge who scored for Burnley? Losing 1-0 at home. They've not put out apparently a proper side. It's crazy. It really is crazy. The winner gets to the quarterfinals. United's on in half an hour, in 20 minutes. The winner gets to the quarterfinals, and Burnley chucks out, from what someone said to me, half-hearted team. Here's Burnley's side. Tell me who you recognise. Peacock, Farrell, Barsley, Long, Dunn, Driscoll, Glennon, Goodmanson, Stevens, Benson, McNeil, Rodriguez, and Vidra. It's not their best team. On the bench, you've got people you'd expect to start. Lawton, Tarkowski, me, Barnes, Westwood. It's just crazy to disrespect it like that. Hi, Faris. Hope you're well. Let's just keep up with you. Hi, Ahmed. Next game, guys. Nothing else matters. Absolutely. Hi, Akash. Hope you're well. You want Torres to start? I think he might. What is going on with Nathan Hackett? Don't know, Mr. Rollo. Saliba. I don't know anything about Saliba, Ahmed, and I'm not going to go there. I've not seen the video. I'm not going there. Can't stand people who don't know what they're talking about, think they know it all, but don't follow what's going on with the facts. Well, the annoying thing was, Bude, the annoying thing was they threw out the racist line. 2 of them threw it out there straight away, calling the England management racist. And I said, well, 3 of the players can't play simply because 2 of them are injured. 1 of them hasn't been released because of COVID. So out of the 5 players that they were worried about, 3 of them couldn't play, and the other 2 are strikers. Okay, and it's, as I said, Babajide. That's it. That's a Liverpool player, Babajide. Very exciting, but it's very hard if you've only got 2 forwards. If you only play 1 forward, then 2 forwards in your squad is enough. And Babajide, it's hard, as I said, it's hard to push out Beth England and Ellen White. Very difficult. Miss Eric says we should play Farhan more. I only recognise 5 players from the players you mentioned, Faris. Yeah, that's it. Half a team. Angus is getting the vaccine tomorrow. Good luck, mate. Right, let's get on. Let's get on with this press conference. Okay, so first, 14 wins. How has that happened? Pep says, I don't know. I think the next game and try to Prepare well, and no more secrets than that. I have to tell you the same thing that happened before. What is the past is just another one. So calm when we lose, and the same now. The reason why is thinking the next game, and now it's Swansea. Are you bothered about the criticism of the handling of Foden in the past? Pep said it's part of our job. Sometimes he doesn't play, sometimes he does. You never know. Only I have clear. All the good decisions we take are good because we won. Even ourselves, we don't know what happens. All the good comments after Liverpool, the secret is because we won. If we lose, it would be a disaster. When we play with strikers with no false nine, when we play with a false nine, why with no strikers? That's why we were happy with the results and 3 points. No more than that, especially for Gundo missed the penalty and he reacted to score. How strong he is. The day after in our heads, just Swansea, just see as much as possible of them and analyse what they do and try and beat them. What's the news on Aguero? Well, yesterday he trained 10 or 15 minutes with the group, and after that he trained apart on his own. Day by day he's feeling better. Is he ready? Not yet. Memories of Swansea in 2019. I was there at Swansea. We were 2-0 down and we won 3-2 in the FA Cup. Probably was fifth round. We were lucky with an offside. Swansea have a tradition of good managers. Michael Laudrup, Roberto Martinez, Mr. Potter. That's Graham Potter, Brighton manager. Now I realise how good he is, and we suffer a lot when we play him. We were 2-0 down. Our third goal was offside. It was a difficult game. I don't expect a different game when we suffered there 2 seasons ago to go through. I know Swansea consistent score. Defensively, don't concede chances. So solid in their formation, physically strong. They have the quality to play up front and in the middle. Will be an incredibly difficult test. We have to do a good performance. We suffered against Cheltenham 1-0 down at 80 minutes. I don't expect a different game tomorrow. Reunion with Latibaudier, Joel Latibaudier. Pep said Joel was happy, was a nice guy who trained with us many times, incredible person. All these guys from the second team, their attitude is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing him and congratulate him. Edison on penalties. Obviously, we missed loads of penalties. Pep said he has to save the goals, make a good build-up, and after we will see what happens. Sergio is not fit. Kevin is an incredible taker, but is not there. We will see tomorrow. He's an option because I'm sure he's a good taker. The penalty taker needs a huge personality and confidence in himself to say, I will shoot and I will score. Unbeaten run without a recognised striker. We play with centre forwards many games. When we don't play with typical centre forward, people can move a bit more, but we have to arrive in the box. We saw the game against Liverpool, 4 or 5 players were inside the box. Every game is different. We are looking forward. Even Gabriel, he's dropping, improving in his position, not playing like a player you can link, and the striker just being there. I'm not a big fan of this. I prefer to move behind this position, and we have some players who can do it. Mike Dean threats. Okay. Pep said, I think the words have been changed a little bit. I think the MEN have tidied it up a bit. They said they have to be careful about the messages. It is difficult to control social media. What happened in South America when one footballer player killed himself, and we say it is a pity, but maybe we forget what the people said to this guy. Maybe about he was not a good player, or the colour of his skin, or something about his family or his kids or his personal life. People today who are in public life are sometimes accused for many, many things. For example, what happened to Bernardo Silva here when he was called a racist, when he is one of the most gentle and kind and nicest person I ever met. We have to be careful, but the people who judge other ones have to, because maybe the people who suffer are not strong enough for it. A referee can make a mistake, but it is incredible how people can accuse that or accuse players who make a mistake of racism. All the guys, all the referees, all the players, all the managers want to do a good job. They don't want to make a mistake or miss a chance or a penalty. It's part of the job. Always it is about winning, winning, winning. Why don't we start saying it is a good to play? It's a game. Have fun. Everybody's involved. We cannot judge the guys who accuse someone when everyone is involved. Any other injury news? Pep said, no, we train later. We will travel with the team who is fit. We have 3 or 4 injured players, and we will call some players from the second team. 3 or 4 injured players. Well, that's Aguero in my book. Nathan Ake, KDB. Who else could be out? Walker. He wasn't in the last squad, I think. So maybe he hasn't really gone into any detail, and that was the press conference. Burnley still losing 1-0 after 85 minutes. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hi, Cal. Liverpool have lost their luck last year. There were 10 games Liverpool was lucky, and that cannot happen all the time. Look, I say every team that wins a title and does really well has a little bit of luck along the way. And people tend to forget that. Centurion season, how many games did we score late goals? 3 or 4? You know? Formidable season, that game against Swansea, we were lucky to get through. Every team has that little bit of luck. Liverpool had a few games where they were lucky last season. City had a few games where they were lucky the season before and the season before that. You know, it could have been in that Centurion season, you could have had 3 or 4 games where it ended in draws, but we managed to find a win. You know, that's 8 points, 6 or 8 points. We would have won it anyway, but the Formidable season, it was a lot tighter. We won 4 games, 1-0. You know, Vincent Kompany's goal against Leicester, that game against Liverpool, where we were a good side, they were a good side, we were lucky, you know. And luck is part of football. Angus says 3 14 games happen because we take it game by game and the players turn up, nothing more, and we try to adapt to circumstances, to all circumstances. Do you think we can win the quadruple 1 game at a time, Angus? I expect us to lose, and this is typical City. I'm negative, not optimistic, pessimistic. The game against Spurs. So if we lose that Carabao Cup final against Spurs, and that's your quadruple gone. So I'm not even going to get into talking about it. 1 game at a time. We're in pole position. Yes, we're in the final of the Carabao Cup. We're in the 5th round of the FA Cup. We're in the latter stage of the Champions League, and we're in a good position in the Premier League. That can change in a month. We could get knocked out by Swansea. Yeah, we could draw against Spurs this weekend, lose against United at the end of the month, lose against Mönchengladbach later this month, lose against Everton, or get draws, and suddenly everything's changed. So I can't get carried away. It was a quarter-final, all right, Angus. I was there. I can't remember all these games. They all roll into one sometimes. Swansea want their revenge against us, absolutely. No fans will make a difference for Swansea. Absolutely, Faris. Those fans make a lot of noise. Hi, Zohib, I'm well. I hope you are too. Monomela, I haven't seen you for ages. Is Aguero ever going to play? As I said, I've always said benches at best. I think he could be on the bench against Spurs, possibly. But as I said, for me, Aguero is a bit part player now for the rest of this season. I think he's a super sub. At least, I won't expect him to start till at least April. I expect March for Aguero just to be bits and pieces coming on, getting fit, staying fit. And to be honest, I'm not sure we should be relying on him and trying to squeeze him in. Let him come off the bench, because why should we change for him? We're doing so well. Zaheba having a pop at Liverpool fans. We're moving on from that game. We can't keep thinking about it. Chris reckons we'll win the FA Cup, Premier League, and the Carabao Cup. Look, we're in pole. As I said, we're in pole position. Wait and see. What do you think of Rodri? He's improved. He's getting better. Zohib. But he's got to keep on that upward trajectory. Hi, Jay, still buzzing. We were lucky in the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea as well, says Faris. Absolutely. When the treble would be amazing. League, FA Cup, and Champions League. I'm not looking that far ahead, Mr. Roll-Up. I'm just looking at the next game. I just look at it and say, get past Swansea, see who we got in the next round. Hope we create a gap now so we can focus on the Champions League. Colleague argues that Pep is overrated because he only 2 Champions League with Barca and Zidane won 3. I'm not bothered about that. We all know the truth, And same as Klopp. Klopp's a good manager. Pep's a good manager. Zohib wants revenge against Spurs. That's it. Focus on the next game. It's an absolute thunderbolt. Still can't forget that goal. We focus on game by game. Come on, you Blues, says O'Hare. Faris says Dre. People bringing up Pep not winning Champions League without Messi is a weak argument. It's a flaw, but not winning a Champions League for a long time. But every manager has a flaw. Look, how many Champions Leagues did Ferguson win? Was it 2? 2 in about 20 odd years at United? Or was it 3? I can't remember. It wasn't much. Angus is back. All I can say right now, we are back and got a chance to win the Champions League. It was a great place. Greatest City players still David Silva, that I can remember. The others played that sparkle, but David Silva consistently. And I've watched it when, I could watch a lot of games. When I watched people like Ali Benabi and King Clancy, I didn't watch many games then because of the age, because of the time it was. Yeah. Some people would go to every game. I certainly never did that when I was younger. When I was a kid, didn't have the money. And when King Clancy was at City, I was working down in London and I was playing football in the mid-90s. So I was working in London playing football on a Saturday and a Sunday, or at least a Saturday. I was playing Saturday football. So if you're playing football, how can you go to games on a Saturday? You can't. So people who think, and I've always said I would much prefer to play football, whatever the level, than to watch football. Always, always, always. I love to play. When I was at City, that was in 2001, 2003. And I remember that I'd set up a business. I was working all hours on this business in tough times as well. So I didn't go to that many games. It's the truth, but you got your reasons. And I was doing athletics as well. So that's mostly into the late spring and summer competitions and stuff like that. All these things add up, plus working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. So it is what it is. But Messi's up there. Messi's up there with David Silva. If this team keeps track and goes on a winning run in all competitions, this team will achieve something we've dreamed of. We could never dream of this. How many finals, club lost it? How many cups has Fergie got? How many times has Jose been sacked? Everybody, it happens. IP, how you doing, mate? Everybody should be liking this, guys. Get those thumbs up. Got some. Hopefully, got a meeting tomorrow about something, not for this channel, but it's something big, and obviously you guys will know about it if I get this project off the ground. But Klopp lost. I'm just trying to think. Was it one season lost, a couple of finals, 3 finals? I can't remember now. But it's just one of those things, different people have. I won't call them flaws, Faris. There's only one. Every season, only one person can win. So you've got Fergie going for it. You've got Conte or Jose. Look, just give you an example. When Fergie was there, you got Fergie, Jose, you've got Pep. Just give you those 3. Only one can win it at a time. One can win the Champions League at a time. And in fact, sometimes none of them won it. Only one can win at a time. And people have got to remember that. So I wouldn't call them flaws. I just call them as they are. League Cup finals 2016, remember Liverpool versus Man City? Took my lad there. And I remember when it was a penalty shootout, we started walking down the steps in case we lost so we could leg it out. Because it was only 5, that was 5 years ago, so he'd have been 8. So we're getting ready to leg it. Talking to people about the game against Sunderland, talking about the Yaya goal and the Nasri goal. I took my youngest then to that game, and he'd have been about 3. Angus was there to great nights on Noel Gallagher, 16 years old. Oh yeah. I wouldn't say that was the greatest final. Some of the great goals with that Sunderland game. But anyway, guys, is there anything else City-wise you want to talk about? Anything else City-wise? Burnley, it's done, it says. Burnley just about out. Just about out, Burnley. Burnley are 2-0 down. 2-0 down to Bournemouth. I've got to say it's not good from Deitch to do that. They got a penalty in the last after 88-minute penalty, and Junior Stanislas slots that home. It's a poor do from Burnley. I mean, come on, guys. You could be in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, okay? And for me, you're not going down, okay? Yes, I can understand you're still worried a little bit about going down. But, when you look at the Premier League table, Burnley are on 23 points. Maybe that's why they're worried, because Fulham are 8 points behind. But Fulham are 3 wins behind. I'm surprised Burnley have done that. Yes, they've got lots of games and tough games and blah, 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 blah. I can understand they've got a game this weekend. They've got a game next week, midweek. So, they've got to play their game in hand. So, they're focusing on them, but I just think that's wrong. They should have put more to win that. Zohib says, I've met Gary Neville. What about Eric Garcia? What about him, Angus? Predicted lineup. It's really tough. Zach Steffen, that's easy. Kyle Walker, that's easy. I wouldn't have Eric Garcia. Laporte, I expect. Let's say Steffen, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Mendy. I don't mind. I think he played against Swansea last time. In midfield, I would have Fernandinho. I'm tempted to rest Gundogan. So I don't know who I'd have as second. If I rest Fernandinho up front, let's do it this way. I'd have Mahrez, Torres, and Gabriel Jesus. And in midfield with Fernandinho, I'd have. I might forget somebody. I might have. Why not Zinchenko and Bernardo Silva? You've still got Sterling if you want him. I might have Sterling as well. Faris is going Stephen Walker, Laporte, Till Howard. I can't see Till Howard Berry's playing, honestly. Mendy, Fernandinho, Mahrez, Torres, Jesus. 3 players in front of Fernandinho. In front of Fernandinho, you can play Zinchenko. I have no problem playing Zinchenko there. And alongside him, you've got a choice, Foden, or I wouldn't play Gundogan, as I said, Foden or Bernardo Silva, and they'll be ready for the weekend. But it will be interesting. Right, guys, last minute or two, because obviously we've got the game, United game, if people want to go and watch that. It's going to be starting in a minute or two. I'm looking at my timeline on Twitter. The biggest one is Saliba trending. I'm not going there. Just checking my work for tonight. Hopefully I'm doing a podcast tonight as well, so that'll be good. I'm just going to quickly look at what's going down on Twitter. Yeah, some people are picking up on my stuff about that racism stuff. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking at the stuff. Angus has liked my tweets. Wow. Anyway, guys, let's go through the last couple of comments and then we'll shoot. I'd play Nemecha in the... Nah, man, I wouldn't do that. No. Zohaib says I want to meet Ronaldo. I would not play Nemecha. No chance, Ahmed. Come on, you Amazangas, absolutely. I think if we play 2 starters in front of Ferner, then we can't let them play a lot. Try to give rest as much as possible to prepare for Spurs. But from the Blue, absolutely. I'll be on there tonight. Hopefully, we'll get that out tomorrow. Guys, look after yourselves. Have a good evening. Remember, if you're in Manchester and you need to get tested. Stay at home. Tommy Doyle, I'm not so sure, Zohaib. I mean, I think he could probably do that. I was thinking, would I? Then you need a senior player. So you'd have Fernandinho, Tommy Doyle, and you need a senior player. The worry is we've got the big game against Spurs. Guys, look after yourselves. Catch you tomorrow for the big game.